After a measly performance over the summer, my marigolds and nasturtiums decided to blossom 2 weeks before our first frost. Then a freeze hit, and despite covering them overnight, they decided it was time to wind down. I had some leftover white cotton yarn from when I dyed yarn using black walnuts and found myself bitten once more by the dye yarn with random stuff I find in nature bug. I gathered as many of the marigold blossoms that still had vibrance and color to them. I also grabbed a handful of nasturtium flowers that hadn't already withered up. Back inside, I filled a pot with water and brought it to a low boil. Then I added the petals I'd gathered to the pot. I wasn't sure if including the green base of the flower would impact the final color, so I kept those parts out. I quickly discovered hacking off the petals with scissors was the fastest way to go about it. It's worth noting at this point that I'm going the absolute most basic route with dyeing my yarn. With the marigolds, you would typically want to use a mordant, which is just something that helps the dye bind to the fiber. I don't plan to use this yarn for anything that will need regular washing, and I'm okay if the color fades with time, so I skipped that step. I'm also composting the leftover pieces, which almost definitely means I will have volunteer marigolds popping up next year in the compost. I did my best to keep the boil slow and low, and the water started to change to a lovely golden yellow. While I let that boil for an hour, I started on my second dyeing experiment, avocados from Mexico. I don't know if that's where they're from, the jingle is just catchy. Now, let me tell you, this was the most perfectly ripe avocado ever. I mean, it was just absolutely perfect, which was sad because I don't eat avocados. This was probably the first time I've ever cut one open. I normally like the green, earthy flavored foods, but I just don't care for the flavor or the texture of avocados, which makes me sad. People who like avocados seem to really like them, and I feel like I'm missing out on something that could be bringing me joy. Oh well. I wanted the skin and pit for dyeing, so the flawless avocado fruit went into a container so it could turn brown and disgusting overnight before someone else ate it. Anyways, I tore the peel into smaller pieces and stuck those and the pit in a second pot of boiling water. I let this boil low and slow for an hour. It was fun watching the color appear. Once my marigold dye was ready, I strained the mixture, then returned the liquid to the pot, and in went the yarn. I dipped it in for just a moment to get an idea of what the color might look like on the yarn, then I let it sit at a low boil for another hour. Same process with the avocado dye. I'll also mention that prior to adding the yarn, I washed it in warm soapy water to remove any sizing from when the product was manufactured and shipped. After an hour, I turned off the heat and let things sit overnight. The next morning, I squeezed most of the dye out of the marigold yarn and placed it in a bowl with diluted vinegar. I have no idea if this step did anything whatsoever. My thought process was maybe it would help the dye set better since I didn't use a binding agent for this process. With the avocado yarn, I just rinsed it out until the water ran clear since the tannins of the avocado acted as the binding agent. The avocado yarn was a very vibrant pink, but it softened a lot as the excess dye rinsed out. I set them outside to dry, and then they got rained on because I hadn't checked the overnight forecast. With the excess avocado dye, I dyed some of my loofah sponges just for kicks. It didn't go so hot, so we're not going to talk about those anymore. Once the yarn was dry, I caked it up and made some test swatches. While the colors are not as vibrant as I might have hoped for, I think I achieved some really lovely pastels. The marigold yarn turned out a beautiful yellow that reminds me of Easter, and the avocado yarn turned out to be what I would describe as a soft burnt orange with a pink undertone. Then again, in my last dyeing video, y'all very conclusively determined I can't properly interpret colors, so maybe it's not a soft orange and I need to go back to kindergarten. Either way, it was fun using items I already had to explore some more colorways from dyeing with natural products. Let me know in the comments what you think of the results I got. Then go check out my adventure dyeing yarn with walnuts. Thanks for watching and happy crafting!